Thank you all for joining me today. My name is Elise Antonello, and today I have the opportunity to discuss with you all a very important topic: social media and its correlations with mental illness. Specifically, I want to highlight middle and high school students and how social media negatively impacts their mental health. Before we begin, I would like to give you all some background information. Over 3.8 billion people in our world today admit to being active social media users. However, over 90% of teens admit to having active social media accounts. For this reason, I really want to highlight the impacts of social media on teens and preteens and how schools and parents should get involved to help their children battle these issues. Before teachers and parents can truly help their students and children navigate the social media battle, they must first be able to fully comprehend what they are up against. I want to make one thing clear. Social media in and of itself is not inherently wrong. The issue, however, occurs when social media becomes an addiction. In fact, many parents are not even aware of how addicted their children truly are to social media. Although it may seem like an exaggeration, a social media addiction is not much different than a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction. When a person is addicted to social media, they will feel a large anticipation ignite in them when they receive a notification, similar to how an alcoholic feels around alcohol or a drug addict feels around drugs. If a child is finding difficulty staying away from their phone or staying off social networking sites and feeling a sense of discomfort when they are not on their phone communicating with people online, they may have a social media addiction. When a child has a social media addiction, the chances for them to develop mental health issues are so much more likely to occur. Now let's talk about some of these specific mental health issues related to social media. First, we have depression. Depression is the most common mental health issue seen in relation to social media. When a child is spending such a large amount of time on social media, they will inevitably begin to compare themselves with their other peers online. When they do this, they will start to become insecure about their own lives, and soon they will begin to hate themselves and their lives as well. This will result in a spiral of depression. Next, we have anxiety. Similar to depression, students will tend to compare themselves to their peers online, creating insecurity within their own lives. This will make their interactions in real life apart from online very, very difficult. Additionally, if a student is spending such a large amount of time looking at a screen, having to become detached from it in school will be very difficult as well, and this will also make their interactions with people in real life extremely difficult. And finally, we have eating disorders. When children are looking at people online, what they don't understand is that these people, specifically models, are edited to fit a specific social construct. Although young teens and preteens are not aware of this. Therefore, these young teens and preteens are going to do everything in their will to look exactly like these people and these models that they see online. And usually this will take the form of an eating disorder. Now, this is the time where I really am highlighting teachers to help their students. Teachers must be aware of these signs that are demonstrated in and outside of the classroom. First, with depression. If your student, who is usually bubbly and excited to be in the classroom, is all of a sudden very, very sad and quiet, something may be wrong. Additionally, if this student has begun to detach themselves from their friend group or other peers around school, please check up on them. Next, we have anxiety. Some signs of anxiety may include fidgeting or stuttering that has not been seen within this specific student before. Again, just like depression, if this student begins to detach themselves from their original friend group or other peers around school, something may be wrong. Next, eating disorders. Many times, teachers will bring food to the classroom to have a class party or to celebrate someone's birthday or another occasion. If the student is having a hard time eating their food, they may be struggling from an eating disorder. You can also observe your students during lunch. If they are struggling to eat or have not been eating as much lately, they may also be struggling from an eating disorder. And to parents, these signs that your child has begun to exhibit in and outside of the classroom can also begin to be exhibited in the home. So please be aware if there are any shifts in how your child is acting, whether it's at the dinner table, in their bedroom, or just in conversation with you. A big way that schools can contribute to helping their students through these issues is simply for teachers to be aware and to ask their students if they're okay. Additionally, I think it would be very useful for schools to hold open discussion panels or open clubs that talk about mental health, specifically mental health in relation to social media. Yes, the school counselor is a great resource, but if the school could bring in a counselor who specifically specializes in social media usage, I think that the numbers of children who are developing mental health issues related to social media would drop drastically. And parents, just like teachers, be aware of the signs that your children are showing and do not be afraid to ask if they are okay. And finally, monitor their social media usage. See what they're doing online. Check their screen time. See how long they're using their phone. You can also see what apps they use, who they communicate with, what pages they look at the most. There can be a healthy balance between parents checking their social media and still giving their children freedom. Mental health is such an important aspect of a person's body, and it has been stigmatized for far too long. For this reason, I have decided to take this claim and bring awareness to mental health and how it relates to social media, another incredibly important aspect in our society today. So please, I'm begging you, use your voice and be the change. Destroy the stigma that's attached to mental health. The world needs you.